And, you know, he was talking to a lot about sort of the mental game that this really is, and something he's been impressed with the players, and of course Kawhi is one of them, is the drive. What are you observing when it comes to the Raptors team? This is their first time making it this far. Are they more driven than years past?
Yeah, I think there's a different level of compete in terms of how badly they want it. Not that they didn't want it in the past, but, you know, loose boxing it, rebounding, defense, a lot of that's effort. I mean, there's a tons of skill in the NBA, but it's like, how badly do you want it? And you're seeing the level of compete and how badly they want it. They want like every loose ball or every effort, every attempt, every possession. It's not like, you know, they're having some runs. They're always playing all out, and that's what I'm seeing mentally from these guys.
Oh, and it sounds like Kawhi Leonard is actually speaking live, so I'm going to pause you here and we're going to listen in.
And, you know, not knowing really what to expect, but, you know, after that, going into my second one, you know, you pretty much know what to expect. And I mean, we're playing the same team, but it's still the same. It's the same basketball game. You know, it's 5-on-5. You know, it's still 2 hoops. You know, so you just got to go out there and play hard and live with the results.
Back in the right side, way in the back.
Kawhi, Jordan Fontaine, Rogers Sportsnet. Just wondering, before coming to Toronto, your impressions of Toronto as a basketball city, and now having played and lived here, have those impressions changed at all?
I mean, yeah. I mean, now you get to see how it is every day, or, you know, for 41 games. And, you know, before you come, I mean, you know, their crowd does come out when you're playing here on the road, but I also was on the West, so I only played them once a year. And, you know, like I said, now I'm here for 41 games during the regular season. You get to live in a city, see how, you know, if you know, guys or girls wearing hats, jerseys, you know, how much support is really around the city. And, you know, now in the playoffs, you get to see everybody outside the arena and seeing how, you know, excited they are for the game and how much support is there too. So, I mean, it's been an exciting year. You know, just those, you pretty much, that's what pretty much changed for me, just being able to see it visually. And, you know, like I said, I'm in and out during the regular season.
Second row on the right, Mark.
Kawhi, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Draymond Green recently called himself the best defender of all time. You're right there with him, and you have as many all-defensive appearances and first team as he does. I'm wondering if you could compare yourself on defense to him and talk about what it is that gives you so much ability on that side of the ball.
And I think he should feel that way about himself. You have to come in these games confident and, you know what you could do on the floor. But, I mean, I don't know how to just compare myself against him. I don't really do that. You know, just for myself and what I bring to the game, I guess we both bring, like, we could switch, you know, 1 through 4, 1 through 5 on the floor. Both bring energy to the game. We want to play defense. We want to stop the player in front of us. And, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, he's leading them on that end of the floor as well.
Right side in the middle, towards the end. Tim, go ahead.
Tim Reynolds with the AP. Kawhi, kind of along the same lines as Mark's question, because you are such a good defensive player, such a great defensive player, how much does that help you on the offensive end, prepare for a game, prepare for a series, and as you try to work through figuring out what the Warriors are going to try to do against you in certain situations?
I mean, I guess that helps me. It just, you know, we might get a steal, help my team get an easy look in transition, or, you know, being able to play defense. We limit them to 1 shot, probably get a rebound. I mean, come down offense again with some pace. So I guess that helps. And, I mean, but it's 2 different sides of basketball. It's not like just because I get a stop, I'm going to make a shot or do a good move.
Because you have such an understanding of the defensive end, do you think that helps you out as an offensive player when you try to figure out what Andre's going to do against you, or what Clay or what Draymond, whoever's in front of you at a given moment?
Not really. I've never really thought of it that way, but maybe. You know, there's good offensive players that are not good defensive players either, or, you know, the other way around. Good defense, not a good offense. So I think it just really comes to being smart and just being in those situations before and just knowing what's going to happen, going through years of playing and seeing defensive schemes or offensive schemes, and it pretty much helps you watching film and seeing, how they guarded other guys or me in the past.
Same area on the right side. Go to Phil.
Hey, Kawhi. Phil Barber, Santa Rosa Press, Democrat. I think most coaches and players in this league would put you amongst the very best players in the NBA, but you probably don't have as much popular fame as some other guys like LeBron and Steph Curry. Do you prefer to fly under the radar a little? Does it ever bother you that you don't have as much notoriety as some other guys?
No, I mean, I'm not playing the game for that reason. I'm out here playing to have fun and trying to be the best player I could be. And, I'm happy with myself and, what I have done in my career. And I'm just going to keep going from there. It's not about me being famous or want to have more fame than those guys. It's about me playing basketball and having fun on the floor.
Final question, back on the right, Greg.
Hey, Kawhi. Obviously, there's a lot more distractions when you get to this level. We're seeing that today. They're a team that's been here now 5 straight times. They've got guys that have experience. There are a lot of guys in your locker room that don't have experience dealing with this kind of attention, this hoopla, the circus that surrounds the NBA Finals. I know you've been there before. What do you tell the guys? Do you have advice for those guys?
Yeah, I mean, most guys been through, been to the Eastern Finals on this team. And, as each series goes, you get more media or, ask more questions about what's going on. But my thing is just, once this is over, it's still between the lines. You're playing 5-on-5 like I just told him. We're still playing basketball. We have a scheme. Just focus on that and don't focus on no outside attention. And, we know what we need to do. You're inside this locker room every day, so don't pay attention to people who are not in your locker room.
Thank you.
And we were listening there to star Raptors player Kawhi Leonard as he was taking questions there. It's media day for the Raptors as they gear up for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Duane Watson is here with me listening in as we heard from Nick Nurse and now we heard from Kawhi Leonard. Some interesting things that we got from Kawhi Leonard, and it's funny that he remains so stoic in his responses. Being asked about the city and being in the NBA Finals, he said it's an exciting time. Very, very sort of subdued in that response, but saying it has been an exciting year and that he's very appreciative of the support. And then finally, we heard there from CBC reporter Greg Ross asking a question about advice he might have because he's been to the finals before and others have not. And he said, really, it's still within the lines. The game is on the court. It's 5-on-5. Nothing changes. Stay focused. What stood out to you from Kawhi's comments?
Well,
there?
that specific statement there, because that's who he is. It's like he doesn't get caught up in the hoopla. He doesn't get caught up in the shine. And it's really about basketball for him. And his interview doesn't belie his personality on the court. He's definitely a different person. He's very laid back and very stoic, as you said. But I think in terms of the composure that this team has, he's an even-keeled leader. And I think seeing your best player going out and doing it on both sides of the floor, who's been there and done that, when he leads by example and he leads on the court. So I think his players recognize that and kind of follow that lead.
Now, was there anything else that you sort of took away from his comments there? One of maybe the important messages is he was saying he doesn't care about the fame that some of his other colleagues within the NBA might feel and might see. But do you think that's all going to change for him after this season? Already there's a mural down the street. That shot of, in the game against the 76ers, that, shot right at the end of the clock, it went around the world.
No, it was viral. And I think the thing is about Kawhi is that interview was exactly what you see about Kawhi. I don't think this is going to change him. He is that guy. He's always been the guy. He's been Defensive Player of the Year, been an NBA champion, Finals MVP, and he's still happy to be here. It's never really going to faze him, which is kind of what the endearing thing is. Rare in this athlete pop culture that you have an athlete that doesn't want to shine. He has no social media. He doesn't really care for that stuff. So I think he's kind of going to always be that guy. So I don't think the hype is going to get to him.